In the world of psychological predators, a compliment is not just a reward. It is often a lure designed to bypass your inner defenses and grab control. You might believe you are being praised for your virtues, but in reality, you are being appraised for a calculated seizure of your own personal power and agency. Welcome to the hidden chessboard of master strategists, where we will learn to dissect the sugar-coated blades and build a psychological fortress that no one can breach. Every word of praise has a weight, and every smile from a manipulator has a price that they expect you to pay when you least expect it today. To survive in this social jungle, you must stop reacting with your heart and start observing with the cold, calculated mind of a seasoned chess master. Time is the enemy of the manipulator, and clarity is your greatest shield against their subtle attempts to distort your reality and your sense of self-worth. We are entering a realm where words are weapons, and silence is a strategy, preparing you to face the most dangerous compliments used in modern human interaction. Before we reveal the 4 deadly compliments, remember that knowledge is the only thing that can turn a helpless victim into a formidable hunter on this board. The noise of the world often hides the whispers of manipulation, so let us sharpen your hearing and your vision to see through the social smoke screens. Your mind is your most valuable asset, and today we are going to reinforce its walls to ensure that no honeyed words can ever bring them down. Are you ready to stop being a pawn and start becoming the grandmaster of your own social destiny? Let us begin with the first trap of praise. The first compliment is the innate genius's trap, a subtle way to deny your hard work while making you feel superior for things you never earned yourself. When someone says, "You are so smart, this must be easy for you," they are not praising your ability, they are dismissing the effort you put in. This is the iceberg strategy, where they focus on your talent to make you feel like the difficult tasks they give you are actually light and effortless. If you accept this praise blindly, you are inadvertently giving them permission to demand more of your labor for less recognition, because it is just talent, right? By labeling your success as innate, they strip away the value of your sweat and sleepless nights, making your high-quality output seem like a free, natural resource. Imagine being told your masterpiece was just luck. That is exactly what this compliment does to your career and your sense of professional pride and achievement. The consequence is simple. You will be expected to perform miracles on demand without being compensated for the extreme difficulty or the time required for success. They want you to be a prisoner of your own image as a genius, making you too proud to admit when a task is actually exhausting or difficult. To counter this, you must learn to bring the conversation back to reality and make them acknowledge the grit and the discipline behind your visible results. Don't just smile and nod when they call you a natural talent. That is the moment you must strike back with a dose of hard truth. Look them in the eye and say, "It looks easy because I have spent thousands of hours perfecting it, not because it is actually a simple task." By stating this, you reclaim the ownership of your struggle, and you force them to recognize that your output has a very high market and personal value. Never let them minimize the price you paid for your skills. If you don't value your effort, you can be sure that no one else ever will. Reclaiming your effort is the first step in building your fortress. It tells the manipulator that you are fully aware of your own worth and costs. When the genius's label is removed, only the professional remains. And a professional is much harder to exploit than a naive, flattered, natural talent or genius. Notice how the manipulator reacts when you mention your hard work. Their discomfort is the sign that your counter strategy is working exactly as it should. Your time is your most precious currency, so don't let anyone devalue it by calling your hard-earned results a mere gift of nature or simple luck. Now that you have secured the gate of effort, let us move to the second, more dangerous trap that targets your sense of unique personal responsibility. This next compliment is designed to isolate you and make you feel like the only person capable of solving a problem that isn't even yours initially. Be careful when they tell you that you are the only one they can trust. It is often the beginning of a very heavy, lonely journey. The second compliment is, "Only you can do this, I trust no one else." This is what I call the permission slip to attack your boundaries. By putting you on a pedestal of sole competence, they are actually building a cage where you are the only one responsible for every possible failure. They use your pride as a harness, leading you to take on tasks that others have rejected, or that are far beyond your current capacity and resources. When you are told you are the only one, you feel a rush of importance, but that feeling is the anesthetic they use before they cut you. Suddenly, you are isolated. If you fail, it is your fault alone, and if you succeed, they will simply give you even more exclusive work later. This tactic is designed to make you feel indispensable, while actually making you a disposable tool for their own personal gain and their own convenience. You become a prisoner of their trust, unable to say no because doing so would mean betraying the high opinion they claim to have of your skills. They have trapped you in a moral dilemma. Perform the impossible task for free, or admit that you are not as special as they said you were. But a strategist knows that trust in a professional environment is not a feeling. It is a contract that must be backed by real, tangible resources. When they try to use this only you tactic, you must immediately shift the focus from your ego back to the reality of the organizational structure. Your counterstrike must be cold and logical. Your trust is a compliment, but professional success depends on shared resources and clear systems, not just one person. By emphasizing the system, you break the emotional leash they have put on you and force them to look for actual solutions instead of sacrifices. Tell them clearly. To ensure the quality you expect, we need to involve the right team and provide the necessary time and budget for this project. This response turns their praise into a negotiation, making it clear that your unique ability comes with a price and specific conditions that must be met. You are no longer their savior, you are their partner, and a partner has the right to say no when the terms of the deal are unfair. Don't let them stain your career with the blood of burnout. Keep your professional boundaries as clean as a fresh sheet of paper and ink. By refusing the sole savior crown, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters, doing great work without being exploited by false emotional debt today. We have neutralized the genius trap and the savior trap. Now we must face the one that targets your heart, the good person manipulation tactic. This third compliment is the most insidious, because it uses your own morality against you, trying to turn your kindness into a weapon for others. Be very wary when someone begins a request by telling you how good and kind you are. They are preparing to take your kindness away. The third compliment is, "You are so kind. I know you wouldn't say no to helping me with this tiny little favor today." This is a liability transfer. They are handing you their problems and their risks, wrapped in the beautiful packaging of your own moral character and reputation. By calling you kind, they are setting a trap. If you refuse, you are by definition unkind or cruel in the narrative they have created for you. They are holding your self-image hostage. They want you to feel guilty for even thinking about your own needs or your own very limited time. You become a prisoner of niceness, forced to say yes to unreasonable demands just to maintain the good person label they have pinned on your chest. Slowly, your kindness is exploited until you are drained and resentful, yet you feel you cannot stop because your identity is tied to being a helper. A strategist knows that true kindness requires strength and the ability to say no. Otherwise, it is just a form of weakness and social compliance. You must break the link between your kindness and your obedience. Being a good person does not mean being a person who is easily exploited. When faced with this trap, respond with a boundary that is as firm as stone. My kindness is not an obligation to solve everyone's personal problems. Tell them, I value being helpful, but I have strict principles and priorities that I must follow to ensure my own work remains at its best. By doing this, you show them that your goodness is a conscious choice, not a button they can push whenever they need a free servant today. True kindness is a resource, and like any resource, it must be managed wisely, or it will be completely exhausted by those who take without giving. Think of your boundaries as the pruning of your soul. You are cutting away the parasitic demands so that your true virtues can actually grow stronger. In the stillness of your boundaries, you find the power to help those who truly deserve it, rather than those who just manipulate your emotions for gain. You are now more than just nice. You are respected. And in the game of life, respect is a much more powerful currency than simple flattery. Let them call you cold if they wish. It is a small price to pay for the freedom to own your own time and your energy. You are the master of your heart's gates, and only you decide who is allowed to enter and who must stay outside in the cold world. Now, we have one final trap to reveal, the one that uses the strongest human bond to strip away every single one of your defenses. This is the family trap, where the lines between professional duty and personal love are blurred, until they completely disappear into a fog of manipulation. Prepare yourself, because when they call you family, they are often looking for a way to treat you worse than a complete stranger today. The fourth and final compliment is, we are like family here, so there is no need for us to be formal or overly professional today. This is the master key of manipulators. It is designed to unlock every door of your privacy, your finances, and your precious time with a single phrase. When you are family, they expect you to work late for free, to ignore insults, and to sacrifice your personal life for their own selfish convenience. The family label is a shield they use to avoid accountability. If they hurt you, they expect you to forgive them because blood is thicker than water. In this environment, professional respect is replaced by emotional obligation, and your rights as an individual are slowly eroded by the needs of the collective group. They will tell you the truth as a brother or sister, but that truth is usually just a weapon used to lower your self-esteem and control you. You feel trapped because you don't want to be the traitor who demands a contract or a fair wage from someone who claims to love you. But remember, a real family respects your growth and your boundaries. A manipulative family only respects your total submission to their own personal and emotional whims. A strategist knows that the healthiest relationships, even within a family, are those that have clear, well-defined rules and mutual respect for personal space and time. When they try to use the family card, you must be the one to bring the light of professionalism back into the dark room of emotion. Respond with grace but absolute firmness. I value our closeness so much that I want to keep our professional dealings very clear and very transparent. Tell them, by having clear boundaries, we protect our relationship from the misunderstandings and the resentments that often destroy the best of families and professional teams. You are not being cold, you are being a guardian of the relationship. You are ensuring that it stays healthy and sustainable for the very long term. Never let love be an excuse for theft. Your time, your money, and your respect are yours alone to give, not for anyone else to take. By setting these terms, you filter out the manipulators, and you keep the people who truly care about you and your well-being as a whole person. We have identified the 4 sugar-coated blades. Now, it is time for you to learn the ultimate mindset of a psychological strategist and grandmaster. A strategist does not survive by luck. They survive by design. They see the board before the first move is even made by the opponent today. Are you ready to build your fortress? Let us look at the 3 pillars of a mind that is completely immune to every form of manipulation. The first pillar is emotional neutrality. A strategist never reacts with anger or excitement to a compliment. They simply observe it as data on the board. Anger is a leak in your armor. It tells the manipulator exactly where you are vulnerable and how they can hurt you or control your reactions. When you remain neutral, the manipulator loses their power. They are like a fisherman with no bait, unable to catch anything in your calm, deep waters. The second pillar is silent observation. Instead of listening to what they say, look at what they do and the timing of their high-flown praise. Why are they praising you now? What do they want from you in the next 5 minutes? A strategist always looks for the hidden why behind every word. Manipulation follows predictable patterns. Once you see the pattern, the magic of their influence disappears, leaving only a clumsy and very transparent attempt at control. By observing from a distance, you stay out of the maze of their emotions, and you keep your perspective clear and your strategic mind perfectly sharp today. The third pillar is rational counterstrike. You don't argue with a manipulator. You simply state the boundaries of the reality you have chosen to live in. Your words are the bricks of your fortress. No, I cannot, and that is my boundary, are the strongest materials you will ever use for defense. Learn to smile with a cold head. A smile tells them you are not afraid, while your cold head tells them you are not easily fooled today. When a manipulator realizes they cannot touch your emotions, they will eventually give up and move on to a much easier and more reactive target. You have become the hunter of manipulation, the one who sees the traps before they are set, and the one who walks through the fire unharmed. Your fortress is not built of stone, but of the clarity of your own soul. and the strength of your own unyielding and personal will. Protecting yourself from the bad allows you to truly open up to the good. A fortress is not just for defense, it is a home for truth. When you master these strategies, you will find that your real relationships become deeper, and your professional life becomes much more successful and much less stressful. The game of life is always being played. But from now on, you are the one holding the controller, and you are the one making the moves. We have reached the final move of our journey today. This is the moment where you take full ownership of your own psychological and emotional space. The darkness of manipulation cannot survive in the light of your awareness. You have seen the hidden blades, and you have learned to disarm them completely. Remember, you are the driver of your own life and the master of your own soul. No one can control you without your own silent permission. The world will continue to offer you sugar-coated blades. But now you will only see the steel, and you will know exactly how to handle it. You are the strategist of your own destiny. Carry this knowledge with you, and never let a hollow compliment ever cloud your vision of the truth again. Be brave, be wise, and above all, be true to the boundaries that keep you whole and free in a world full of complex social games. Which of these 4 compliments have you encountered the most? Share your experience in the comments below, and let's discuss. Thank you for joining me in this deep dive into the art of psychological self-defense. May your mind always be a fortress of peace and clarity. Go forth and play the game of life with a clear heart and a strategic mind. Until we meet again on the next board of wisdom.